And as you can see from that guy, and just... What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or as always, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today, we're working on the Jeep. And what is wrong with the Jeep is this front axle shaft U-joint. So the other day we were driving and started making this horrible clicking noise from the front end, and I pretty much knew what it was because I had the same issue with the truck a while back. Obviously not the axle shaft, but the rear drive shaft was making kind of that same noise. So I grabbed it and shook it, and that's probably about the easiest way you can tell. You just grab it. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can shake it, or if you grab your wheel, I don't know if you can see, but just that little bit of play there, that tells you it's bad. This one might not be as bad as most, or as some, but it's obviously still bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace it before it gets worse and or snaps off and does a whole bunch more damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this wheel off, pull that axle out. I'm gonna try to do it without separating it from the wheel bearing, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna go get this tire off, and the next time you see it, I'll be removing that wheel bearing. Okay, so if you guys watched my replacing the ball joints video, all this will look really, really familiar to you, but if you haven't, here we go. This is a 22. You're gonna use that to take off these two bolts back here, which hold on this entire brake assembly. I'm not just gonna take off just the calipers, take off the entire assembly, because I mean, you can just take off the brake calipers, but you'll have to take this off anyways. It's just easier to kind of take this off in one swoop. And then you're gonna have 3 bolts. These down here, you got 3 of these. These are Torx. I believe they're 13 millimeters. You'll take this off. There's one here. See if I can see the other ones. One up in here, and then one down there. You can see it. It's like a triangle pattern. There's just 3 of them. And then after you take this off with this, the whole hub and assembly will come out. The axle will come out with it. So like I said, I'm gonna try not to pull those apart, because I feel like I could set the edge of that down and maybe use that to my advantage. I'll try it, but let's get to zipping all that off. So now the brake caliper is out. I just kind of put it up there on this track bar, and you kind of want to make sure you have it on there pretty decent, because you'll be wiggling around here. You don't want that to fall off. But don't forget, you do have to take off this wheel speed sensor. It's just a 5mm Allen head. Zip this off and it just pulls right out. All this comes off very easy for me. I can't promise the same thing for you. I've already had all this apart, but that just slides right out. And tuck that out of the way. You'll probably have to bend this back a little bit, but that's it. So now I'm going to take off the 3 that hold on the wheel bearing, and that should be it until the whole axle slides out, and I'll show you guys that. Alright, so got those 3 bolts out. What I'm going to use is a dead blow. I don't really like to use metal hammers. Sometimes I will, just if they have to like vibrate loose, but since I've had this one off a few times, I'm just going to go ahead and try to use a dead blow, see if I can't get it off that way. So I'm going to set you up, and you'll just see me kind of tap around kind of all 3, mainly like in a triangle pattern, just hit the 3 sides. It should just pop off. So let me set you up. Alright, so there she is. Like I said, mine will probably come out a lot easier. I've had this apart like 3 or 4 times in the past year or so. So let's get to placing this, because this is what took a duke on me. And those ones seem fine. I think it's these ones that went bad, but I mean, obviously, let's go ahead and replace the whole thing. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a ball joint press, which I have, And if you don't have a ball joint press, Advanced might have one, O'Reilly's might have one. Super cheap to rent. Or if you really want to, I can leave a little link to the one I bought. I bought mine off Amazon. It was, I think, like 45, 50 bucks, something like that. Not too bad, and it's come in handy a lot, saved me a lot of money. So I'm just gonna do this on my truck. Now I'm really gonna hope I got the right part, because there's 2 different part numbers, but it looks about right. So I'm gonna get to pressing these out. I'll probably show you guys a little bit of that. So I'm gonna go get my ball joint press. Okay, so I've got my ball joint press on there like so. And this certain style, if you do want me to leave you the link and you want to buy one, this is not like impact drill thing. You have to use hand tools with this one. They do have styles, but they're a little bit more expensive. So just keep that in mind if you do buy this a little bit cheaper one. But I'm gonna get to pressing this out and get to fix it. And also real quick, don't forget, you're gonna have clips in here holding these in. I just went ahead and put this in place because I almost forgot. But you're gonna have clips up in here. It's probably a lot easier if you use a flathead, but I don't have one handy, so I'm gonna see if I can do it with a Phillips. All right, so just show you real quick. I got one of them out, and you can't use a Phillips head. Probably be, like I said, a lot easier to use a flathead, but that's all I got. So I just find the end of them, hit on them at the end of the bit, or at the end of the screwdriver with any kind of hammer, and it'll just pop right out like that. And you just keep hitting it and it'll fly out real quick. So the hardest part really on these ones is finding them, because these are what look like the factory U-joints, and the Jeep has 180,000 miles on it now, so it's real rusty and crusty and nasty in here. So you'll probably have to search for them, but it's not all that bad. So I'm gonna get to pushing the rest of these out, and then I'll get back to when I'm gonna go ahead and start pressing these U-joints out. All right, now all 4 of those are out. Check your new part to make sure it comes with new ones. I'm almost positive like all of them do, but it's always just good to know before you start throwing them away. Mine do, so you can just toss those. If they don't, I would check your part store, see if they can't get you some or something, because I would not recommend reusing those. They're nasty and they'll probably break or something, cause this to fly out. But I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this on, pushing these out. Should make easy work of it, and then obviously putting the new one in, praying, fingers crossed, that it's the right part. I'm almost positive it is, but start pushing this out, getting the new one in, and old girl will be back to running, and my wife will be happy that she can start driving her back to school. So let's get this done. All right, so I got this U-joint out, and as you can see from that guy and just all these bearings, there's nothing in here, and it really didn't want to come out. Like I said, 180,000 miles, but got all this out. Went ahead and oiled it up for a minute, maybe try to clean off some of that as I try to put that other one in. And I put this up side by side with that one. It is the same length, so that should be fine. And now I'm going to get to putting the new one in. Hopefully it all goes good. Like I said, I just used ball joint press. It's a little finicky. Mine's bent. I've used it to change the ball joints in the Jeep about 3 times, and one of the times it actually messed up. Well, it was my fault. I messed it up. I over tightened it the wrong way, and it put so much force on this clamp it kind of bent it out a little bit. But I've been using it like that still. It just takes a little better angling and figuring it out, but still good. Still been good for me so far, especially for the money that I spent on it. But like I said, that's all I used. Come out with a little bit of force, but still way better than taking it to a shop. Or obviously if you have like a bench, like an actual bench press, that would probably be a lot better, but I don't have that. So that's what I got. These are the old ones. This is the new one. It's greasable. Was really trying to get a non-greasable because they just seem to last longer, and I'm real bad about remembering that stuff. But this is what they had, and I needed it now, so I'm gonna pop that one in. Then the next thing you should see is the Jeep back together, because me putting this all back in is the same as it was taking it out. As far as actually taking the U-joint out, let's see if I can mirror it here. It'll kind of be like, this in there, but picture it with the end caps on it. And one will push out this way, you'll pull that end cap off, then you push it back that way, pull that end cap off, and then after they're both off, you'll just pull it as far forward as you can, or as far whatever way you can, and it just slips out like that. And it's that same way with that one, but it's a little bit more finicky just because you got it still connected here. But again, not that bad. The only reason I've probably been out here for about an hour. The only reason it's taking me so long is because I had somebody stop by and I was talking to him and then trying to film everything. Yeah, but not bad at all. Gonna pop all this stuff together and then put it back in the Jeep, and the next thing should be taking the Jeep for a test drive, because we haven't ran in about a week. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so as you can see, it is now nighttime. That took a little bit longer than I expected because the little needle bearings kept, you know, falling in it, and I have to get them back out, and then I had to keep making sure they were just lined up right. So just watch out for that. But it's all in. New clips are all in. Probably gonna get a rag, wipe all that down, and then go ahead and start putting it back in there. I'm probably not gonna film any of that, like I said before, because it's all the same. But probably gonna try to put a little bit of grease in there. It's got these fittings. I don't know if you can see it too well, but I hate those fittings. They're the ones that you just push something in there, but it more or less ends up on the outside rather than the inside. I don't know why they give us those fittings, but that's what I got. So I'm probably gonna try to shoot a little bit of grease in there and then start reassembling the Jeep. That's probably gonna be it for today's video, guys. I'm not gonna drive the Jeep. Well, I'll probably drive the Jeep, but if you guys don't see anything else, then that means it was fine. So, like I said, that's probably gonna be it. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button if you like this video or any of my other videos. Follow me on all my socials, on my Instagram, my channel email now. I'll leave all that in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.